Hello guys, it's also Jay here back at it again with another video. Where's my stick? One second. Okay. So, as y'all can see at the title of this video, I just wanted to make a video real quick. Because I think that, a lot of people are feeling the same way I'm feeling, and maybe they're not, but I wanted to talk about what I'm feeling so maybe you could relate. So, I've been learning a lot of astrology, the planets, the galaxies, the zodiac signs, everything like that. And I'm becoming more aware of like who I am, what kind of things I can do, what kind of things I can experience in this world, and so forth, so forth. So, basically, if you guys didn't know, if you looked at the moon, I think it was like 2 days ago, if you looked at the moon was really big and it was yellow. And a lot of people were like, what's going on? Like, why is the moon so big? And all this kind of blah, blah stuff. And that was the transit for manifestation. So, basically, to create anything you wanted to in your life, it's still here, but it was the biggest door that opened. So basically, the Earth was aligned with Jupiter and Neptune. So it was like, say the Earth was right here, and then Jupiter all the way far back, and then Neptune. They all were aligned. And so what happened with that, it was an energy shift. A day or two before that, and there was an energy shift, and that was for them to align together. And basically what that meant was that it was a portal so you could create and manifest everything that you wanted. And basically we're in the whole section of our time where we can right now in this era right now that we're in, we can basically, to put it in frank terms, we can create anything we want by manifesting things that are good for us, throw away the past, bring in the new. And it kind of felt like a weird journey for me because I feel energy like quicker than most. And it's and when you feel the energy, you don't really know what's happening. You think it's yourself. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's other people's energy you're feeling. And I was feeling, everybody's energy around me. And I didn't really know what was going on until I figured it out. And this is the time where you can't be hesitant in what you're doing. Get rid of anything you're settling for, like anything that you don't want to do in life. You're not supposed to be doing. That's why you feel so uncomfortable. Yes, being uncomfortable is good, but being uncomfortable is good when you're doing something that you're not used to. You know what I mean? But if you're just uncomfortable because you know you're not supposed to be doing it, you're not supposed to be doing it. You're not aligned with what is going on. So stop, doing things that are not for you. Do things that are for yourself. Like, if you're into music, do music. If you're into sports, focus on your sport. Like this is the time where like you could put your dreams into reality. By the energy, and like really like change your mindset on what's going on. Like open your mind to think about like the bigger things. Because people, I feel like I look at people in the world and not trying to be mean, but I feel like a lot of people are just wasting time. And people's like, yo, James, like, why do you make music? Like, why do you keep making music if like nobody really listens to your music? One, I make music because it makes me happy. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing something that I want to do. So if I was to do something I didn't want to do, it would mess me up because I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm going to be depressed. A lot of people settle for things, and I had a whole conversation about this. And some people will agree, some people will disagree to agree, but I just don't think you're supposed to be settling for anything. We are open-minded creatures naturally, so we're not supposed to settle for relationships. We're not supposed to settle for, things that are not natural, So, whatever context you take that in, it's, your opinion, and I don't, blame you for your opinion, but I just think in my mind, we're not supposed to be settling for anything. We're always supposed to strive for bigger and better things. And, always we're constantly, we're adapting creatures. We adapt to things. So if we stay in our comfort spot for too long, how are we gonna adapt? You see what I'm saying? Like, how are we gonna adapt to things if we just stay in one spot? So that's what I mean by settling. It's not like, settling for, pizza instead of, whatever. It's really settling in your life, like doing things that you're really not supposed to do, or things that, you're doing good, but you could be doing better. It's just that mindset where people just think, well, since I have everything right here, like, why am I gonna, go branch out and try to do more? Like, that's a crazy mindset to have, because like you can do anything in this world, and that's where that term comes from, doing anything. You could have 5 jobs if you really wanted to. People just think that you're only supposed to have one. That's settling. So I think that, this energy that we're in right now is a perfect time to, not hesitate. Don't blame yourself if you're not where you need to be yet, because I'm not where I need to be yet, but I'm not stopping myself from getting there. I'm not stopping myself from taking those opportunities by really, focusing on my music. That's gonna get me somewhere if I be consistent. This word, the energy right now is, consistency. Don't give up on something just because it's not there yet. You gotta be patient. You gotta take the time to really, understand yourself, because while you work on your craft, you understand yourself more and more. Whether it's sports, whether it's cooking, whether it's, anything you do, art, you're understanding yourself, because art, you're looking at, real life things, whether real life things or your imagination. You're using your imagination to come up with your art. You're doing something, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting it into a form. So for me, I'm looking at all my life experience, I'm looking at people, I'm observing people, and I'm putting it into my music. um and so, with that said, I think that, even though this world is complex, it doesn't have to be complex. Because what a lot of man-made things um have taught us is that it really doesn't work for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Not everybody can have a 9 to 5 job. Not everybody can sit at a desk. And not everybody could go to college. So all the things that, people, people that made things up, college, things, it doesn't work for everybody. So you got to make this world work for you. And that's why I'm talking about not settling. Because everything that you do is probably not what you want to do just because somebody told you have to do it. You see what I'm saying? And when you feel like you have to do something, you get brought into the wrong direction because you feel like you have to do it even though you don't want to. And it's a figment of your imagination, because people told you your whole life, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, and in reality you really don't. And so, that goes with anything. Like, the things that people tell you in this world are not, you don't know if they're true or if they're false, because it's something they made. So what is true to you? Figure that out. That's what I'm saying. This is the perfect time to figure out who you are, figure out what you want in life, figure out how you want to create something. This is the perfect energy for your frequency to really grow. And this is this transit that we just had, where the moon was aligned with Neptune in June, and Jupiter, sorry. um we're never gonna have it again in our lifetime. It only happens 200 and some years. So this is the perfect time for you to really understand who you are. And I know that, things, sorry about my stomach, things been happening, so quick, and you probably feel like you don't really know where you belong. You feel like you have no friends, probably. You feel like, you're in a weird spot in your life. But this is the perfect time. When you feel uncomfortable, you're doing something right. If you was feeling comfortable, you wasn't doing nothing right, because you're still staying in your comfort zone. You're still staying in what you know. Get out of what you know and figure yourself out. When you figure yourself out, that's when it becomes uncomfortable, because you don't have any stability under it yet, because you're creating the stability. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to say that, because, I haven't been making that much music, but I know exactly what I want and how I want it to be. And, I'm creating it in my head, yeah, but I'm also putting it down in my craft, and figure out, like, if you don't have anything you're really interested in, figure it out. Like, figure out what you like. This is the perfect time to discover who you are. Like I said, it's the perfect time to figure out what your hobbies are, what you like, because I'm telling you, a lot of people, especially now with the wars that are going on, the more violence, the drug abuse, You need to keep your mind as clear as possible. You need to keep your mind clear and see things in this world that you don't like, you do like, that you want to change for yourself, that you want to change for the people around you. And just manifest off of what you want. And I'm not talking about when I talk about manifestation, I'm not talking about, you know, praying, but like people I pray all the time, but I'm not talking about praying for everything and just waiting for it to happen. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because when you wait for something to happen, God's gonna give you the blessing if you put work in it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't just pray and then let everything just be. You have to really put all your passion, all your energy into it, because energy goes through whatever you want. Energy attaches to things that you want. So if you're just waiting for things to happen, you're not putting your energy towards it. How is your energy gonna attach to it? So you really have to want it and put action into what you're doing. And yeah, it might be little steps, little baby steps, but nobody got anywhere without taking baby steps first. So if you want to go learn. If you want to go make music and learn how to make music, go do that. If you want to learn how to do art, go do that, because you never know what you're going to be good at until you try it. Um, for instance, I can't make beats. I just started learning how to make beats, and now I'm getting better at making beats because I tried. If I didn't try, I wouldn't know. So it's like that, manifestation. People think it's just like a want and that's it, and you're not gonna do anything about it. No, you gotta put effort into what you want, because, like I said, energy attaches to what you want. If you're not putting energy in it, how is it gonna attach to it? So, yeah, and also just like open your mind. You know what I mean? Open your mind. Like, a lot of people in this world are becoming closed-minded. They don't really care anymore. They're not really attached to their emotions, let alone other people's emotions. Everybody's kind of like in a selfish state of mind. It's okay to be selfish, but not in an arrogant way. And not in a selfish way. I mean, not in a cocky way either. Just, sometimes it's good to be selfish, because now you're taking care of yourself, but you can never overdo something. It always has to be a balance. So just because you're being selfish right now, or if you're not being selfish, you have to learn a balance of how to mix your emotions with other people's emotions. Because, like I said, we are adapting human beings. So our being is to adapt to things. Our being is to connect with things, because, like I said, energy attaches to things. So if we have energy, if we're made out of atoms, if we're made out of molecules, right, we have to be willing to attach to things, and we have to be willing to connect with things so we can understand ourselves. Because I remember when I used to hang around with people, right? When I was in a negative mindset, my energy was negative. I connected to negative people. Ooh, excuse me for my stomach. I have to eat, but yeah, I connected to negative things. And so once I cleared my mindset and I changed my mindset to, I want positive. I only want positive. I want to be a positive person. I want to help people. I want to do all these things. And I focused on myself, the selfishness for my inner. I was growing my inner side. I was growing my inner being. I started to attract positive people by my energy. It pulled them closer to me, not the negative. It connected the positive. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all about a mindset. But if your mindset is closed, how you ever going to differentiate what you want? You have to also be observant. Observant means to listen before you talk. A lot of people like to talk, like to have their opinions heard, like to have all these things heard. Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's not even about that. Sometimes it's about what you're gonna learn in the lesson. How can you learn the lesson if you're talking? You gotta watch, you gotta see, you gotta observe, you gotta use your frequency, you gotta use your mind. Your mind is a really big tool when you are silent. A lot of the natural things in the world, have you realized, are very silent. They're not loud. You listen to, tigers and bears and lions in the wild, and you hear them, and they're not even making a sound until they have to. until they have to. But most of the time, everything is quiet. You realize that because they're being observant. They're realizing when they need, what they need to watch, how they need to watch things, how they need to maneuver so they can get their food. But if they're loud, everybody's going to get scared away. And they're not going to understand what they needed to get out of it because they were being too loud. And now they can't see where their food is because they were being obnoxiously loud. So in this world, you listen, you know what I mean? You listen to the birds and, they chirp, but most of the time they fly in packs and they just fly right over you and you barely even hear them because they're being observant. They're learning where to go. And so for us, we need to learn how to observe, but we need to learn how to be quiet enough to get what we need out of the lesson. And that's also going to help you understand what you want, how you want it, and everything else. A lot of people are like, I don't know what group I belong in. I don't know if I belong in this group or that group. It's because you're not observing the group well enough. I remember being in the group, I would have my headphones on or I wouldn't be talking at all. People like, James, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I would just observe. And I realized that a lot of people I was hanging out with, I didn't like the way they acted, the energy. I felt the energy. I didn't like it. So I moved along to whatever else I was doing. I was okay with being alone because I didn't like the energy. You have to learn, when you don't like that energy, don't force yourself into that energy. I had to learn that because when you force yourself into energy you don't want, you're going to get something that you don't want. You're going to be put in situations that you don't want. And it's not going to be good for you because that's not what you wanted. So you have to really focus on everything. This world is way bigger than you think. And I think that when you start to understand who you are and what you want and how you want it, it'll become easier to fuse things together to understand who you are and how you want people in your life to be. And you'll figure out not even how you want them to be, but you'll figure out the people will just come to you. The right people will just come to you. And you won't have to do anything because your energy is invested in the right thing. But first, your energy has to be invested in yourself. So if you're in a bad spot, if you're in a negative spot, don't worry. I know it's hard, but, just stay focused and focus on yourself because, like I said, selfishness is not bad. You just can't overdo it. But really focus yourself inward. And then when you figure it out, don't linger on it too long. Like I said, no hesitation, no lingering. Because when you linger on your inner self for too long, you start to miss out on opportunities. So you have to really have a balance in this and really realize that, if I'm the problem, I got to change my energy first so things can just attach. My energy can attach to what I want. And that goes for anything. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that it was kind of a bizarre video. It wasn't the norm video, but I really feel like these messages need to be said because I know a lot of people that are going through similar things. And I think that, we all need to help each other. And I'm a spiritual person. I really love this world. I see a lot of things that I don't like in the world, but I, majority of the time, do love the world. I love how, the trees are just helping us, nature is helping us, the right people are helping us. And it's all about change right now. So you need to be the change that you want to see. And so I'm doing what I think is right by telling you, that don't give up if you are in a bad state of mind or if you're confused or if you don't know what to do. I'm still confused. I really don't know what to do either, but I know how to take the steps now. And I'm gonna try to help y'all as much as I can. But I gotta go. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.